Shalom. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to our elders and apostles of great millstone that taught us this truth. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful like Akim, teaching and preaching this truth with all righteousness and sincerity, and Lord willing, you be edified through the spirit, power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. It's the brother Aki Awasap with a branch of GMSLA. Coming back at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, all right, we are commanded to stay upon our watch, look at these different things that's happening in the world, whether it's the geopolitics, the finances, war, local economy, global economy, all right. And as we see these different things going on around the world, we made it up to the prophecies in the Bible. And that lets us know what time and season that we're in. All right, and then we're set up to give warning to the Lord's sheep so they can get prepared for this time of trouble. All right, we often go into Jacob's trouble. We often go into the sad perils, the end time prophecies, the chaos, the pandemonium, the love of many waxing cold, and most importantly, the MOTB, which is the mark of the beast, which is the implantable technology that will go under your skin. And with it, you'll be able to buy and sell. And before Esau Edom fully implements that world order, this current economy has to fall. All right, it's a reason why there's shrinkflation. There's a reason why that everything that you see, it costs us a lot. You know, it's a reason why rents are high, gas high, food high. Your basic necessity is becoming unaffordable. And Esau Edom is creating this scenario because he wants to bring a solution. All right. And the solution is ultimately to submit and worship the beast, which the beast is a system of government ruled by the Edomites. You got America, you got NATO, the EU, and collectively and make up this empire ruled by the Edomites. Scarlet colored beast, a red dragon. Right. And the global elites, they want to put this technology in you. But as I was saying through the spirit, before that can take place, they have to give an illusion that this system is not working. We need a new system. Okay, so I saw this video that Elder Yashawama posted on his community from Gurner. We need to see unemployment rise. And this was 2 years ago. And what these Edomites do is they use their computers, their supercomputers, that gives them understanding of algorithms and trends and how things could possibly be in the future. You know, this is Esau's left-handed prophecies. This is left-handed prophets. So you have these individuals that come out and they understand that in order for us to segue to the new system, we need certain things happening in this economy. All right. So I'm going to play this video. It's 1 minute and 11 seconds long. And I'm going to go ahead and get into it.
I think the problem that we've had is that we have people decided they didn't really want to work so much anymore through COVID, and that has had a massive issue on productivity. You know, tradies have definitely pulled back on productivity. You know, they have been paid a lot to do not too much in the last few years, and we need to see that change. We need to see unemployment rise. Unemployment has to jump 40-50% in my view. We need to see pain in the economy. We need to remind people that they work for the employer, not the other way around. I mean, there's been a systematic change where employees feel the employer is extremely lucky to have them, as opposed to the other way around. So it's a dynamic that has to change. We've got to kill that attitude, and that has to come through hurting the economy, which is what the whole global, you know, the world is trying to do. The governments around the world are trying to increase unemployment to get that to some sort of normality. And we're seeing it. I think every employer now is seeing it. I mean, there is definitely massive layoffs going off. People might not be talking about it, but people are definitely laying people off, and we're starting to see less arrogance in the employment market, and that has to continue because that will cascade across the cost balance.
All right, there you have it. They want to see less arrogancy in the employment market. All right, and they need to have 40 to 50% unemployment rate. Because during COVID, you had people saying, look, to hell with working, man. You know, I want to be at the house, so on and so forth. And these people need to pay me, you know. So it was a dynamic shift where the employers was privileged to have people to work for them versus the employees being privileged to work for these corporations. So they want to switch that whole dynamic around. And that was 2 years ago. And now what you see, all these major corporations laying thousands of people off. But as I was mentioning, it's all a part of the will of these Edomites. So let's go ahead and go to Ecclesiastes 12. This was written by Solomon. He was the king of Israel after his father, King David, reigned. And it was 40 years of peace during this time. And the Lord blessed Solomon, which he prayed for knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to be able to judge Israel. And not only did the Heavenly Father grant him that, he made him the richest man in the world at that time. So this Ecclesiastes 12. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. So not only do you find prophecies, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, equity, judgment, understanding how to rule your spirit. You also find prophecies in here. All right. And it's speaking about, hey, remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth. Basically repent, come back to the truth when you a young man, so you can put your energy into it. You can grow in the truth. While the evil days come not, Jacob's trouble. And what we just saw in that video, evil days is coming, man. Evil days are here. It's going to come a time where we no longer seeing these economists and these different individuals that work in the finances, coming out saying that this is going to happen and this will happen. It's going to be happening in real time. All right. While all these other camps outside of Great Millstone is talking about the Gentiles can make it and the other nations and all that. Meanwhile, prophecy is speaking. Meanwhile, prophecy is happening right before your eyes. All right. It says, nor the years draw nigh when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them, when you get old and set in your ways. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, or the clouds return after the rain, which this is twofold. It's talking about the dark day of the Lord when he come and brings justice and judgment in the earth and save the northern and southern kingdom, the elect of them. All right. But it's also talking about before this truth be taken away. All right. Because Esau, hey, these people can't forward their agenda if we on the internet giving up their plays, telling the people what they finna do next. All right, it's going to come a time, it's going to be heavy persecution on the saints, just like it was in the ancient Roman Empire. All right. The disciples was kicked out of Rome, Yahushua. All right. He was bringing the truth. The wicked scribes and Pharisees, they wanted him out of there. This truth is a sore thumb to people. All right. So in order for them to regain control of the narrative, they got to take this truth away. It says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, this is the economist, which when you look at the word, look up the etymology of the word economist, it says household manager or keepers of the house. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble and the strong men shall bow themselves, the military, and it's been reports saying that, look, the military ain't been able to enlist the amount of people that they've been able to in the recent years. And then in the military, you got all these different people that's not ready for war, man. People that are overweight. You got a lot of women, people with different, sexual orientations. This military is weak. It says, and the grinders cease because they are few, which are the jobs, like he was saying. It says, in those that look out of the windows be darkened. Talking about those individuals that look at the future to try to forecast how the economy is going. They don't see a bright future. It's darkened. And the doors shall be shut in the streets, business closures, which that will limit opportunities in the society. When the sound of the grinding is low, when the job market slow up, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Which we see that now with the entertainment. And it's not just music, it's sports too. A lot of sports betting going on, a lot of behind the scene, magic happening to give the people the illusion that, sports is authentic, and it's just a money grab. It's entertainment. It's to divert your attention to something else. Meanwhile, these major economic blows is happening right before your eyes. Legislation is being passed. Rights is being taken away. Constitution is being done away with. But the point is, the prophecies speak about the grinding getting low. And that's going to play a major part in the behavior of the people here in the last days. When you go to Matthew, the 24th chapter, 12th verse, it deals with two different time periods, the Roman siege of Jerusalem, as well as the signs and prophecies and events leading up to Yahushua's second return, which Yahushua is he who in the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Verse 12, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Once these people's lifestyle is taken away, finances is taken away, their basic necessities become very expensive, jobs is hard to get, you're going to have a lot of crime. All right, and crime is going to lead to iniquity, which is sin upon sin, increasing. The love of many is going to wax cold. All right, when people can't feed themselves, people is going to lose they so-called morals and integrity. But this is all a part of Esau's plan, like we was going into in this video.
I think the problem that we've had is that we have people decided they didn't really want to work so much anymore through COVID, and that has had a massive issue on productivity. Tradies have definitely pulled back on productivity. They have been paid a lot to do not too much in the last few years, and we need to see that change. We need to see unemployment rise.
So they need to see unemployment rise. I put economy not doing well. It says the economy isn't doing well for many Americans due to a K-shaped recovery where high earners thrive while lower middle class income households struggle with rising costs, slow wage growth, and job market wobbles despite national growth figures leading to negative public sentiment and concerns about inflation and potential recession. So we definitely in those times, man. So we'll continue to look at these things. We understand that the grinding is going to cease. Isaiah 19 speaks about there shall be no work for Egypt, and that Egypt is spiritually talking about America. And we need this stuff to happen to segue to this new system. All right, they're talking about digital IDs, real IDs, but it's going to segue to the RFID. All right, that tech that go under your skin. So in order for Esau to convince people to get down with that new system, your daily life is going to get changed, and a lot of us is going to get affected by it. But the scriptures speak about in Habakkuk, I'll close it out in Habakkuk 2nd chapter. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5. Verse 4, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. Talking about Esau, because he's coming after the working of Satan with all signs, power, and lying wonders. He's not upright. It says, but the just shall live by faith. So we're going to enter into an era, which now is where you have to, live by faith. You got to live by these principles that we've been learning in the Bible during this grace period. All right, because we all going to get tried, man. All right, so got to live by faith. So we're going to continue to stand upon our watch through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai and make these reports. Lord willing, you are edified. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash, and double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us